Okay, so if you run a local business, you know how incredibly important it is to show up on Google. But let's be honest, the whole system can feel like a giant, confusing maze, right? Today, we're going to talk about a really unique guide through that maze, a man named Sanjay Paul and his initiative, SPDigitalJourney.
You might have the best product, the most incredible service, a place that people in your community absolutely love, but you still find yourself asking this question: why are we invisible online? It is a deeply frustrating feeling for so many entrepreneurs. And that's really what it feels like for so many people. Trying to get a handle on Google is like being lost in a maze. The rules seem to change all the time, the path is never clear, and it's so easy to feel like you're just walking in circles, never actually getting any closer to your customers. But what if your guide through the maze was one of the people who actually helped build it? Well, let's meet Sanjay Paul. He's a specialist with a truly one-of-a-kind perspective on how Google's whole local ecosystem really works. And when I say he's an insider, I mean it. Sanjay's journey started right at the very beginning. He was part of the original Google Maps pilot batch all the way back in 2007. So this isn't just experience we're talking about. This is foundational knowledge of how the entire system was put together from day one. And that role grew over time. From the massive job of turning paper maps into digital ones to editing Street View, he was deeply involved in shaping the very tools that we all use today. And now, he's taking all that deep knowledge to guide business owners through his own initiative, SPDigitalJourney. Just think about that. That's more than 15 years of dedicated, hands-on work. Not just using Google's platforms, but actually helping to build and shape them from the inside. And the scale of his work is just massive. During that time, he has personally trained, guided, and empowered more than 5,000 individuals and business owners. That's a huge number of people. You know, his experience isn't just theoretical either. We're talking about real, on-the-ground work on over 2,000 Street View projects across India, covering more than 100 cities. That's some serious hands-on expertise. So, with all this insider experience, what did he find was the actual root of the problem? Why do so many businesses struggle? Well, as it turns out, it comes down to what he calls a misunderstanding gap. And here it is. This is the core insight that changes everything. Sanjay realized that business owners aren't failing because they're not trying hard enough. No, they're struggling because the system itself is basically a black box. The problem isn't a lack of motivation. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of how Google actually thinks. And to solve that exact problem, he created SPDigitalJourney, and it has a very specific mission: to give you guidance that leads to understanding, not to make you dependent on some agency. The entire goal is empowerment. I mean, just look at the difference here. The typical agency model often sells shortcuts or secrets and gets you hooked on a monthly retainer. Sanjay's approach is the total opposite. He empowers you with real understanding in one-time sessions so that you become the expert on your own business profile. And the guidance he gives is super practical. He'll walk you through how customers actually see you on Google, help you spot the visibility gaps and common mistakes, and work with you on a photo and content strategy that builds real trust. He even gets into the nitty-gritty of optimizing your categories and getting your reviews right. All those little signals that tell Google you're a credible business. Okay, now this is where things get really unique. He's not just changing the what of digital marketing help, he is completely rethinking the how, specifically how you pay for it. He calls it a community support model. The idea is simple, but it's also pretty radical. Basically, the person who gets the guidance is the one who determines its value. You contribute what you feel is fair and what you're comfortable with. Let's just let that sink in for a second. There is no fixed fee. In a world that runs on contracts, retainers, and set prices, this is a completely different way of thinking about professional help. So how does that work? Well, you have your session, you get the value from it, and then you decide what you want to contribute. Now, he does share that most contributions tend to be between 500 and 1,000 rupees, but the final decision is always 100% up to the business owner. So, if this whole approach of empowerment and trust is resonating with you, you're probably asking, okay, so how do I actually take the next step? How do I get this kind of guidance for my business? Well, first, just listen to what other business owners have to say. This quote really captures the whole spirit of it. Instead of selling services, he explained things calmly and helped us decide our next steps ourselves. And that's the goal, right? Clarity and confidence. And getting in touch is designed to be really easy. You've got two simple ways to do it.
The fastest way is to book an appointment right through Google Calendar, where you can see his live availability. Or, if you have a more detailed question, you can just fill out an inquiry form. It's that straightforward.
So we'll leave you with this question, because it really gets to the very heart of Sanjay Paul's whole philosophy. In a digital world that's so often driven by pure transactions, his work makes us all wonder, what if expertise and guidance and community were all built on a foundation of mutual trust instead?